Welcome to our first 40 days as a Christian. And today we'll be in day two, and the title of the lesson is Tested and Tempted. Now, when Jesus came out of the waters of baptism, he was also tested and tempted. In Matthew 4, verse 1, then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. Now, we know that we will be tempted and tested. That's one of the realities of being human. Although I do have to mention that Jesus' temptation is unique. And it's important we make that distinction. And here's why. Jesus had a mission on earth. Jesus is God in the flesh who came to humanity in order to rescue humanity. Now, along the way, he was, of course, tempted and tested, and he had all sorts of trials that eventually leads him to the cross. But the cross doesn't hold him. Death does not hold him. Instead, he is victorious on the cross, and in his resurrection, he is seated at the right hand of God. And he launches new creation, and one day he will return. And today he gives us an invitation to be with him. It's an invitation you and I have accepted. And we are now with him today, and we hope to be with him when he returns. Now, as you can imagine, there were forces at play to keep him from achieving his mission. But here's why we have to make a distinction between what we experience, the temptations and the testing, and what Jesus experienced. So let's say this is the analogy of a boxing ring. And you're familiar with this, so this might help. So in a boxing ring, you, of course, in a boxing match, are tested and tempted the whole time. It's terrible, right? It's painful, and you want to maybe give up, and you're going through all kinds of pain and agony. If you use that analogy, and I have done this in my own Christian journey at many times, I ask myself, why am I in a boxing ring? Why am I fighting this fight? Because if Jesus was victorious, then what am I doing being tested and tempted and battling for my faith? And at times, maybe I'm victorious, but then there are many times when I am defeated in my Christian faith. Maybe you have asked that same question. Why am I even in a ring? Why am I even fighting if Jesus has already won the decisive victory? The difference between Jesus being in the ring and us being tested and tempted is that we are actually not in the ring. We're not in the boxing ring. You know where we are? We are at the victor's podium. That's the difference. Jesus has already defeated the powers and principalities, and when he returns, his victory will be fully completed. But today, we're actually not fighting the fight in the boxing ring. To use that analogy, we're actually fighting the fight to keep remaining at the victory podium. That's what we are being tested and tempted, is to actually leave the victory podium, because we are tested and tempted to believe that the victory lies somewhere else. That's the difference. And I think this difference makes a huge difference in our practical living as a Christian, whether you're a young Christian or old Christian, because I have struggled with that a lot in my Christian life, and I still do from time to time. But this perspective really helps me to realize that I'm not tested and tempted to be in the ring, to stay in the ring. I'm tested and tempted to stay on the victory podium. And if you think of scripture like Romans 8, in verse 37, the Bible teaches us, no, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. So as we close out this video, hopefully this is helpful in our Christian journey to remember that, yes, we will be tested and tempted, but our temptation is to leave the victory podium and to go find victory somewhere else, which is not victory at all. But that's the temptation. That's the testing that we experience. But instead, to trust Jesus' finished work and know that his victory on the cross and his resurrection, we are also now more than conquerors. Hopefully this video has been helpful. See you in the next one. Till then, God bless you.